The former Royal Palm Resort is getting a major facelift, and beyond the renovations, locals are hoping for the economic boost it will bring. Also, in a troubling development, the Royal Bahamas Police Force has recorded 4 suicide attempts in just 8 days, raising urgent mental health concerns. Charges dropped against Murphy Knowles' attorney. We have the details.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, the former Royal Palm Resort is getting a facelift. But more than that, some are looking forward to the economic injection it will provide for the island, also providing a foot in the door for small businesses that will drive the economy. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Crews from FTS Construction hit the ground running on what will be the future Business Innovation Center and will finish the demolition and clearing phase of what was an eyesore well ahead of schedule. While proud of the efficiency with which his team has worked to transform the former Royal Palm Resort, President of FTS Construction Steve Lang is eager for the entrepreneurial opportunities the space will create for Grand Bahamians.
This is a great spark for the island of Grand Bahama, and we have some probably about 30 booths at least. You can imagine these small, first-time business owners having a chance to open up their own businesses assisted by the TDC. And over in this next building here, you can have a food court that could hold about at least 4 different young food catering businesses.
Once the renovation is complete, he says the former dilapidated building will represent what Grand Bahama is. The Tourism Development Corporation is taking the lead on the project, and Deputy Chairman and Project Coordinator Anthony Bostwick says he has been impressed with the rapid transformation of the space, as 6 weeks had been earmarked for the breakdown on the 24,000 square foot property.
Hats off to him and his team. They have done an excellent job here because, like I said, when we first came in the back, it was a jungle. It was a building that nobody would wanted to see or touch. Now, right down to its very shell. In 2 weeks, and I came out here in the night. They were working in the night. They were working 24 hours. They were working, and this is what you have. This is a Grand Bahamian contractor that really mashed it up.
The Business Innovation Center is just one area the TDC has focused its attention. CEO Ian Ferguson says it has been laser focused on product and business development initiatives and is playing a key role in the planned redevelopment of the Fishing Hole Road Cultural Village, intended to provide economic opportunities and become a must-see destination for tourists. The Venture Pitch Competition is another notable initiative that provides funding and training for existing businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs.
We are providing grants up to $10,000 to Bahamians across the islands of the Bahamas. Next week we'll be in Eleuthera, and then in Cat Island, and then in Andros. And so we are moving across the islands of the Bahamas, eventually coming back to Grand Bahama, of course, to ensure that we give these opportunities, that, you know, the pitch competition really allows persons to hear themselves talking about their businesses, and of course to share that with distinguished panelists who can give them ideas as to how to further enhance and develop.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, within a matter of just 8 days, the Royal Bahamas Police Force has reported 4 suicide attempts, with all victims reportedly under the age of 30, arising heavy mental health concerns for young adults. Our Matthew Martinborough spoke with clinical consultant at the Grand Bahama Resilience Center, Dr. Andy Lang, on the matter in this report.
In just under 2 weeks, police have reported 4 suicide attempts of 3 males and a female, all under the age of 30. In the first instance, a 28-year-old male attempted suicide with a sharp object. Days later, a man was found hanging at a business establishment off the Grand Bahama Highway and was found unresponsive. Then this past Saturday, a 22-year-old woman involved in a domestic dispute attempted to inflict harm on herself. And just this Sunday morning, a 25-year-old male attempted to hang himself. The concerns remain alarming amongst the community. Speaking with clinical consultant at the Grand Bahama Resilience Center, Dr. Andy Lang, he says from what he has seen, the recent increase of attempts may be contributed to a sense of hopelessness.
Persons feeling and experiencing deep feelings of hopelessness and helplessness, and not realizing or seeing that they have other alternatives. And so instead of reaching out for help, a lot of persons are resorting to, unfortunately, killing themselves.
Lang adds, although the rise in attempts is alarming, there has been a revelation of individuals reaching out, seeking help as well.
I am very, very pleased by the number of persons who are reaching out for counseling and therapeutic services. I am especially encouraged by the number of men that I see reaching out for assistance as well. And what this all suggests to me is that while we might still have some ways to go, there are some people with whom our message is resonating. And that message is that, hey, it's okay not to be okay. And if you're not okay, it's okay to reach out for assistance.
But once again, he warns residents to pay close attention to their loved ones.
Be very, very vigilant of persons in your home, persons in your social circles who might be struggling. I would say know their baseline. So if this is someone who is very happy and very outgoing in the life of the party, and you're noticing changes in their personality, please don't ignore them.
Now, Dr. Lang notes there are community resources readily available for individuals who struggle with their mental health alongside the Resilience Center. However, he emphasizes the message, it is okay to not be okay. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Well, torrential rain swept across the island of Abaco this past weekend, triggering widespread flooding in several communities. At the same time, Bahamas Power and Light reported issues at their Wilson City Power Station, leading to load shedding across the island. Tonight, volunteer firefighter Danny Sawyer shares an update on current conditions on how the severe weather has impacted residents. Yolanda Thompson-Everest has this report.
For many on Abaco, yesterday's flooding was more than just an inconvenience. It was a painful reminder of Hurricane Dorian. Volunteer firefighter Danny Sawyer says the heavy downpour left many residents frantic and frustrated, especially as clogged drains made the flooding worse. Community members are now calling on the Ministry of Works to act quickly, urging them to clear blocked drains before another storm hits. According to Sawyer, the situation was frightening for many residents.
One of the main reasons March was flooded, the tide was high, and a lot of our drains and our drainage system here in town is not working, and it hasn't been working since Dorian. So the couple of drains that are working, the drain empties out into the harbor. With a high tide, it can't run out anywhere, so it's going to stay inland. And then it was going into some of the businesses and probably some of the homes.
Sawyer also pointed out that while the tide was low, floodwater still lingered in parts of town. He said the sudden downpour brought back haunting memories of Hurricane Dorian for many who are still recovering.
Some people, who went through Dorian will probably get flashbacks, And I mean, it was torrential rain. I haven't seen that in a long time. And I live up in the back here in Marsh. And the only time I've ever seen water in my yard was in Dorian. Yesterday, you can actually float at a speedboat in my yard.
The areas most affected by the flooding include Dundas Town, Murphytown, Marsh Harbor, and Spring City. Sawyer is now calling on the minister responsible for works to step up, especially with hurricane season already underway.
Whoever's in charge of ministry, the minister who's in charge of Ministry of Works, needs to get a telephone call to these people here in Abaco, especially Marsh Harbor, and they need to get out and clean these drains. What happens if we have a hurricane? And that was only 6 hours of rain. What do you think if we get 24 hours of rain?
Sawyer also expressed concerns that some residents still aren't prepared for a major storm, noting that more must be done to support vulnerable communities before the next weather system arrives. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Yolanda Thompson, Everest.
Well, our ZNS News team reached out to the Ministry of Works regarding flooding on the island of Abaco as hurricane season is underway. A major concern has been the clogged drains. A senior engineer at the Ministry of Works, Dexter Williams, speaking to the issue, disputing that the flooding was not due to the clogged drains, but to high tide. However, he did admit that they will have to do a drain study to show where to dispose the water due to the complexity of the island's drain system.
That outfall is fitted with a tide flex valve, and then when you have the high tide, the water will come over that outfall and impede the flow. So what happened during that heavy rain, that outfall was blocked by the tide, and then because of that, and of course there are some drains, the wells that are not clean, that would take some of the water, but not all. So you'd still have the flooding because of the high tide.
Williams added that the Ministry of Works has a team on the ground in Abaco and is currently in talks with the contractor to carry out much needed maintenance. Williams also emphasized that because Marsh Harper sits so low, a full drain study is needed to determine the best location to redirect storm water.
So it's not that we have forgotten or neglected them, but it's going through the system, and the rain came before it was able to complete its course through the system.
And still to come.
We'll bring you the highlights from a special ecumenical service celebrating the nation's 52nd independence anniversary. Stay with us.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank. Built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Let's celebrate our 52nd anniversary of independence at the Cultural Extravaganza on Wednesday, July 9th on Independence Park. Enjoy the all-star Bahamian music lineup, the Royal Bahamas Police Force mini tattoo, Bahamian food, fireworks, and junkanoo. Show starts at 7:30 p.m. See you there. Don't miss the 25% Independence Day sale at Park & Shop. This July 7th, 8th, 9th, 11th, and 12th, excluding underwear and red tag items. Come and be blessed at the New Life Worship Center in Freeport, Grand Bahama, where Bishop Simeon Ouden is the senior pastor. Services are on Sunday at 9 a.m. and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Come and experience a time of praise and worship in the Word.
Grand Bahama Tiles is celebrating independence with a 25% off store-wide sale. On July 8th and July 9th, enjoy store-wide savings with some items up to 60% off. And the first 10 customers get an additional $52 off their entire purchase. Let's celebrate independence with great savings. Call them at 352-7920.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Welcome to the Straw Market, the heart of Bahamian creativity. I'm Yolanda Thompson-Everest, and here where color meets culture, every handmade piece tells a story. From straw bags to Androsia print, this is Bahamian pride on full display. Happy Independence.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. With just 4 days remaining until the Bahamas celebrates its 52nd independence anniversary, a special ecumenical service was held on Sunday at the First Baptist Church. The service honored the nation's remarkable journey and the progress made since gaining independence in 1973. Yolanda Thompson-Everest has the highlights.
As the countdown to the Bahamas' 52nd independence anniversary continues, civic organization, community leaders, and residents gathered at First Baptist Church for a heartfelt ecumenical service. The service served as a moment of reflection and celebration, recognizing the nation's growth and achievements over the past 5 decades. Melodic songs of worship and musical selections filled the sanctuary, followed by clergymen praying for the nation's youth, the church, and the country. Also giving thanks was the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, expressing gratitude to God for bringing the country thus far.
It's God who's guiding us, and this administration, we've been able to achieve many things, and it's because of God.
Delivering the national address, Pastor Adrian Bethel reminded the congregation that the nation's progress is not rooted in politics or human hands, but in the unwavering grace and mercy of God.
New investments are on the horizon. Carnival's new port is rising from the southern shore. The container port is rising in the east, signaling growth and opportunity.
Attendees, among them representatives from various civic organizations, emphasizing the significance of attending the service.
We just give God all the glory because we've come through so much, and this is a beautiful time, and our independence we celebrate.
Indeed, we have a lot to be thankful for to God, and we look forward to many good things to continue to happen in our nation.
Some people think they just wake up in the morning and the Bahamas was just here, but it took sacrifice, it took struggle, and today we should be proud to be Bahamians.
I think that Pastor, he delivered a very dynamic message, and even the saxophone playing and all the prayers and stuff, they were just great.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Yolanda Thompson-Everest.
It's now time for your Health is Wealth Monday Tip.
During these hot summer months, I felt it was important to share pertinent information about how to stay safe and healthy in the heat. Heat exhaustion is a real medical condition that can occur when someone is exposed to high temperatures, particularly when combined with high humidity and strenuous physical activity. Some symptoms include heavy sweating and a rapid pulse rate resulting from your body overheating. Without prompt treatment, heat exhaustion can lead to heat stroke, which is a life-threatening condition. You or someone you know seems to be suffering from heat exhaustion or heat stroke, please seek treatment at an emergency room immediately. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and remember, your greatest wealth is your health.
And just before we close out our news segment, we do want to apologize for strong language that was used in an earlier report. We do understand that it is not in keeping with our broadcast standards, and we certainly want to apologize to our viewers. Shane, Monday morning, what's happening in sports?
Well, listen, DJ Edgecombe had a stellar performance in his Summer League debut over the weekend.
All right, that's coming your way next, but first a check on the local weather forecast.
Here at Island Bedding, we provide Bahamians a local option for factory direct quality sleep products. We have also expanded to include a range of furniture and home accessories. Check out our new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe. Located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinarian.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Let's celebrate our 52nd anniversary of independence at the Cultural Extravaganza on Wednesday, July 9th on Independence Park. Enjoy the all-star Bahamian music lineup, the Royal Bahamas Police Force mini tattoo, Bahamian food, fireworks, and junkanoo. Show starts at 7:30 p.m. See you there.
Psst. Guess what? Budget Pest Control has something important to show you. Coctotermus formisalis, the super termite. What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry. Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out our scientific paper. So you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
Grand Bahama Tiles is celebrating independence with a 25% off store-wide sale. On July 8th and July 9th, enjoy store-wide savings with some items up to 60% off. And the first 10 customers get an additional $52 off their entire purchase. Let's celebrate independence with great savings. Call them at 352-7920.
Welcome to your evening sports check, everyone. I'm Shane Stubbs. Let's dive right in. The Grand Bahama Flag football semifinals had a ton of drama and punching their ticket once again to the women's championship game, where the overtime launched Lady Elites after defeating the 14K Bar and Lounge Tigers 7-0. And VJ Edgecombe, he had a stellar debut in Summer League. He finished with 28 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. But the Philadelphia 76ers lost 93-89. They're back in action tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that's your check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is up next.
(1920), before independence, this was our genesis. Like a sun splitting through darkness to let future in. Great-grandfathers with iron fists, wielding policies that paved possibilities for the next of kin. 07 was a shedding of skin. Now native, but never wavered in our commitment. Before our country turned 50, we were here 50 years more. Helping life, spreading light. BAF for life.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is, by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Grand Bahama Tiles is celebrating independence with a 25% off store-wide sale. On July 8th and July 9th, enjoy store-wide savings with some items up to 60% off. And the first 10 customers get an additional $52 off their entire purchase. Let's celebrate independence with great savings. call them at 352-7920.
Grand Bahama, it's the time of celebration. The Bahama Brass Band presents with a shout, Wheel March, celebrating a combined 170 years of service, duty, and music ministry. 100 years Nassau and 70 years Grand Bahama. With special guests, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Force Band, female contingent. Tickets are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. It's all happening at 7 p.m. Grand Lucayan Ballroom, Saturday, the 26th of July, 2025. With a shout, Wheel March.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks so much for watching. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight, coming your way next.
NS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, inflation, climate change, and security. We have the details of where the Bahamas stands on those regional talks. Plus, staffing shortages lead to the Department of Immigration's largest promotional exercise. And prep work for the historic Clifford Park as thousands unite to mark the country's independence. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Urgent action required, and one regional leader seemed willing to deliver as they declare an all-out war on the gun violence wreaking havoc on their respective communities. The unified front coming during intense discussions in Jamaica, where officials are laser-focused on people, partnerships, prosperity, and promoting a secure and sustainable future at the 49th annual CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. Firearms are holding strong as the weapon of choice in the vast majority of serious crimes here in the Bahamas. And while the country dodged a huge bullet recently, that cache of firearms and ammo on display at the police headquarters last month speaks loudly to this growing problem. There is, however, a long-held view that while the Bahamas does not manufacture firearms, its neighbor to the north, the mighty United States, does. But as regional leaders, like Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, contend, this does not translate into their right to traffic arms.
They are stepping up to assist, but we still think more can be done. The time has come for us to declare war on guns, as we declared war on drugs, war on guns to help us remove these guns of our streets. And discussions are now being held because, as the chairman is noting, that a lot of these criminal activities are being born from criminal organizations, suggesting that these are organized crime born by transnational criminal enterprises, which we need again to tackle.
Regional security, just one of several intense discussions Caribbean leaders have been locked in over the past day and a half in Jamaica. Issues impacting the administration of justice also brought to the fore.
The idea coming out of that, it was a shared view that there has to be a coordinated response between the executive and the judiciary without being, compromising the independence of the judiciary. And I think a clear understanding came out of there that the courts have to appreciate and be sensitive to what is happening in our communities, particularly how the local conditions are impacting and fueling the scourge of crime that is troubling all of our countries.
The 49th CARICOM meeting wraps up on Tuesday. In related news this evening, just over a week after that significant find of high-powered guns and drugs here in the capital, a 36-year-old man appeared in court in connection with the find. Arsenio Ferguson of Joe Farrington Road faced some 83 charges before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. 78 of those charges for the importation of firearms into the Bahamas and 5 for the importation of ammunition. Now, those charges read in court indicate that the alleged importation took place on June 27th when officers seized 25 weapons, 29 magazines, and over 5,000 rounds of ammunition along with marijuana in the Western District of New Providence. Ferguson was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. He returns to court on December 4th to be served a voluntary bill of indictment. His attorney, Devard Francis. Prosecutor Inspector Dion Barr brought additional charges, though. Ferguson was also charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm, possession of ammunition, and possession of a component part for these charges. He faces trial on September 29th. Well, we can also tell you tonight that tens of millions of dollars is being pumped into national security. Financial Secretary Simon Wilson disclosed as much this morning while speaking at the Ministry of National Security's multi-agency financial accounting conclave that brought together financial officers, law enforcement agencies, and senior government officials.
When you look at the budget, you may not see the full extent of the project in the budget. So, for example, you will not see in the budget, in the Defense Force budget, you will not see the $90 million for refurbishing the fleet. You see a portion of it, but you won't see the whole thing. And this is where forward planning, strategic planning takes place. You know, this is where you, as a team, we have to schedule, consider, move resources around to be able to effectively deliver these services to the public.
Now, Wilson further shared that in this fiscal period, there are a number of large projects for the Ministry of National Security that will contribute to making borders safer, with more than $250 million to be spent on several projects. He noted that while line items may appear modest at first glance, the true cost of these projects often exceeds what's printed.
For the Department of Corrections, we have a construction of a new prison and virtual court, which is a $90 million project. For the Defense Force, we have modernization of the fleet as well as refurbishing the fleet. The total of that could be close to $100 million when you consider the new ship, which is the new flagship, which the Defense Force is considering acquiring. For the Police Department, we have modernization of the main campus. The government's already announced the intention to build a new police administrative center, as well as acquire 12 fire trucks, and that in itself is going to be around $80 to $90 million.
Well, as hundreds of millions of dollars are earmarked to strengthen the country's borders, the Defense Force is moving new assets to further guard and protect. West Alex Forbes reports on the new boats and where they are being deployed.
Commodore Floyd Moxey reinforcing the Defense Force maritime presence by deploying 4 newly acquired vessels across key zones in the country.
We spent some time determining where was the best place in the country to locate those safe boats, and we have determined that we will locate them, one in the North Bahamas, and today's the 7th. One of them will be operating out of Abaco. We send one to Grand Bahama, one to Marchutong in Nargo, and one to Gunpoint in Ragged Island.
The Commodore shared just 2 weeks ago, a motorized vessel out of Haiti was intercepted with an estimated 60 migrants. Now the department is on alert.
And so just yesterday, we discovered that there was a Haitian landing in the Turks and Caicos Island, and they're using motorized boat as opposed to the traditional sailing vessel that we would have seen in the 2000s, the 90s. And so we are sending our patrol boats to the southern Bahamas to ensure that we maintain that presence and that posture in the southern Bahamas in the event of any mass migration from Haiti. So we're using our
air asset, and we are using our surface assets to do that.
While illegal migrant vessels are one threat, the Commodore says another is Dominican poachers, who are continuing to fish illegally in the Bahamian waters, even though the crawfish season is closed.
At this time of the year, we get reports of Dominicans on our banks, and so we are deploying our surface assets to the Great Bahama Banks to ensure that our marine resources are protected for our fishermen when this crawfish season open on August the 1st.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Collins-Forbes.
Meantime, a day of celebration as officers attached to the Ministry of Immigration received letters of promotion. Our Lloyd Allen reports more on the exercise, which took place earlier today at Transformation Ministries International.
I got emotional because I really have to give a lot of thanks to my husband who helped me through this journey. It's been really rough.
Sharon Monroe says 3 years ago she lost her sight, but her fight to giving an honest day's work remained consistent.
But I still come to work every day and perform in my rank. And this promotion meant the world to me because I lost my eyesight, but I didn't give up.
29-year veteran of the Immigration Ministry, Sharon Monroe is along with 340 other colleagues who today received their just reward for years of service in the Immigration Department.
For the first time in many years, we are not only addressing the past, but we are preparing the future.
Immigration Minister, the Honorable Alfred Sears, was joined by senior immigration officers and others across the entire organization who celebrated the extensive exercise. Now, Minister Sears telling the group that Monday's announcement came with much preparation, ensuring all deserving officers received their just reward.
They undertook the painstaking work of combing through files, reassessing cases, and ensuring that the entire promotion process was anchored in merit, transparency, and integrity.
The minister also indicating that while there may have been some cases overlooked, others will likely be added to the list.
There are a number of cases which are currently in the final process, and we should be receiving within, say, the next another few weeks. And but the work to continue this process, as I stated, will continue.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Coming up, health officials sound the alarm on the country's rising obesity rate. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. That and more in a moment.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Hi, I know you weren't expecting to see me here. Now you can find your favorite chicken and snacks in the same place. It's true. Come on in.
Introducing the Doritos Kentucky Chicken Sandwich, a delicious combination of KFC's juicy original recipe extra large filet, stacked with real Doritos nacho cheese chips for a loud cheesy crunch in every bite. It's bold, it's crunchy, and it's only $8.95. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Bahamas. Come celebrate our 52nd independence at the Family Fun Day, July 10th at Clifford Park. It's a great afternoon of food, fun, culture, entertainment, national pride. Gates open at 4 p.m., concert time 6 p.m. 52nd Independence Family Fun Day at Clifford Park. Bring the whole family. Admissions free. Happy Independence, Bahamas.
See, I'm proud to be a Bahamian. I'm proud to be a Bahamian.
There are over 40,000 students in our public school system, and the mission of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training is to equip every one of them with a quality education. This requires a full complement of quality teachers. The ministry, in conjunction with the Department of Labor, is hosting a job fair to recruit teachers on July 12, 2025 in the foyer of the Ivy Dumont Building on University Drive from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Applicants for positions such as trained teacher, craft instructor, guidance counselor, and supply teacher are welcomed. If you're passionate about inspiring this generation and the next, see you at the fair, because every child counts.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
You're looking at a shot there of a cruise ship entering Nassau Harbor, one of many cruise liners bringing millions of tourists to the Bahamas annually. That shot courtesy of drone pilot Kyson Miller. Welcome back. From the police this evening, another traffic fatality under investigation, this one taking place on Exuma. Reports are that officers were called to the Farmers Hill area shortly after 1 this morning following a collision between a male motorcyclist and a vehicle. The motorcyclist was found lying on the ground with visible injuries. It was soon confirmed that he had died. Investigations into the matter continue. Authorities also looking into an attempted kidnapping that unfolded just off Carmichael Road. According to police, a woman was walking on Shrimp Road shortly after 10 p.m. Saturday when a dark-colored Japanese vehicle stopped nearby. An unknown man allegedly came out the car, approached the woman, attacked her, and tried to force her into the vehicle. However, the woman resisted and managed to escape. The culprit then returned to his vehicle and sped off. Well, turning now to the state of health. The rate of overweight teens in the Bahamas has dramatically increased by over 135% over the last 27 years. That comes down to every 2 to 5 Bahamian teens living above a healthy weight. This all based on the findings of a recently released global school health survey whose 2,213 respondents spanned 35 schools across 8 family islands.
Obesity has tripled, jumping from 7% to 21%. These are major shifts in the health profile of a generation. Compounding this, only 6% of teens meet the daily recommended amount of fruit, and just 10% meet the recommendation for vegetables, down from 14% and 31% respectively. At the same time, teens who daily or almost daily consume sugary beverages has surged. In fact, it has nearly tripled from 28% to 81%. In stark contrast, fewer than 1 in 5 teens drink enough water.
Now, as health policy lead and public health practitioner, Dr. Sharita Moxie further revealed the lack of physical activity among 3 to 18-year-olds no less daunting.
In 1998, 36% of teens got sufficient physical activity. Today, this has dropped by more than half to just 15%. Meanwhile, sedentary behavior, sitting, reclining, lying down, has soared from 55% to 72%. Sleep.
Now, getting a grip on childhood obesity is critical considering non-communicable diseases reportedly account for 7 out of every 10 deaths here in the Bahamas.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Did you know you could send a local bank transfer to a Sand Dollar wallet? It's the same as sending a transfer to an account at another local bank. Simply use the wallet's 12-digit top-up address as the account number, savings as the account type, Central Bank of the Bahamas as the bank, and Sand Dollar as the branch with branch code or transit number 12,000. Don't use urgent or priority delivery. Transfers to Sand Dollar wallets are processed through the Bahamas Automated Clearinghouse Network within 1 business day.
Are you straight? Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you on the live? Shad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pour them over, please.
Say less. Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive fiber services when you port your landline.
Bahamas Striking Group of Companies, we have been in Exoma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass that along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
On July 9th, Clifford Park will once again come alive as thousands of Bahamians gather to celebrate the country's 52nd anniversary of independence. And to make sure the hours-long event is a seamless one, participants, including members of the armed forces, are in full rehearsal mode for Wednesday night. Our Corval Byfrom gives us a preview of what's in store. Corval?
Well, Ursula, independence excitement is definitely in the air. In just 48 hours, the annual ecumenical and cultural extravaganza takes place right here on historic Clifford Park. And I've got to tell you, they've got rehearsals taking place right now, and everything looks great, sounds great. There's the $64,000 question, though. What about the weather? Will it cooperate with us on Wednesday night? I'm joined now by the producer, the man tasked with overseeing this whole spectacular production, an icon himself, Mr. Fred Ferguson. And tell me, what goes into getting ready for a big show like this one on Wednesday?
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. This is the one time of year when the nation celebrates. Even though it's done here at Clifford Park, which is the hallowed ground, the entire nation feels the energy of what's going on. So to make this happen, we have to represent the entire country. We have, for this year, I have National Last Festival winners. I have a performer from Abaco. We got persons from the Family Islands assisting us on stage and so forth. So all of that come together. It takes a lot of work. We have to write a script that's done by Janico Pratt. We have actors, singers, dancers, bands, and we try to showcase, make it a report card to the Bahamas for what has happened in the year previously.
And it's a production done before a live audience, but it's also done before a televised audience, so I imagine that makes it equally as important.
And social media makes it even further. So you're talking about millions of people seeing what we do. So and you'll always be able to rewind and watch it in the future. So as a result of that, we have to make sure that what we do is well represented and done at the highest quality.
I'm getting the wrap-up sign, but tell me quickly, what do you know about the weather? Will it cooperate?
I have a call. No rain.
No rain. Well, listen, we know that tons of people are going to be watching, thousands, maybe even more, will be watching who won't be able to make it out here to Clifford Park on Wednesday night. But don't worry about it. You've still got the best seat in the house. The ZNS Network will bring you live television and radio coverage with our Marlena Leonard and also Jimenita Swain. Our coverage starts this Wednesday at 7:30. Reporting live from Clifford Park for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pye from Let's Go Back in Studio. To you, Makushla.
Well, thanks, Corvell. Now, our growing excitement for independence, I'm sure, spills on over to Access Now. LaDonna, Marlena, what can you tell us?
Well, Makushla, ever wondered or ever heard about crochet Bahamian clothing? Well, we have a Bahamian who has a store front just for you. So I guess she's going to teach us.
I'm excited to see that. I mean, I went through a phase where I was convinced I was going to get into crocheting. I bought all this stuff. I never learned how to do it. So maybe she can teach us at some point, because it sounds like it's successful. No, I just picked all the pretty yarn and I was like, I'm going to do it.
You can do it, Marlena. You can do it. We're counting on you. Stay with us. The National Report is back after the break.
Man, this ain't making no sense, man. How people making it out here, Dre?
If you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, you gotta learn how to budget. First, write down all of your income. Then, list out all of your expenses. And don't forget to save. Stop throwing away money. Put something aside for savings. And get this, government savings bonds can safely grow your money. So start budgeting, save your coins, and invest smart. Financial independence, wait, financial independence, wait. Learn how to invest in government savings bonds on the Central Bank of the Bahamas website.
Diet-friendly special.
Only one item?
Are you tired of limited choices?
I'll have the one item on the menu, thank you.
Wow!
So many choices.
Why settle for less when you deserve more? When it comes to the ways you pay, the more, the better. With a variety of payment options available, you can enjoy the freedom to choose what works best for you. Choose freedom. Choose flexibility. Choose from the full menu of payment options. The future of pay is digital.
Wait. What you doing there?
Oh, you didn't know it? Popeye's giving up the $5,000 for summer, dog. Stop that! All you gotta do is purchase a NOLA box, any Popeye's location. You can even enter online to win a NOLA box. What that is? That's a chicken sandwich, 2 tenders, fries, apple pie, drink for $13.95.
Happy Independence Bahamas. Let's celebrate 50 plus together with a unique Janae's Uniform Center Independence print, dry fit polo or t-shirts, ribbons and pole bows in black, gold, and aquamarine. Janae's special family package includes buy 2 adults and 3 children Independence polos or t-shirts and get 15% off. Outfit your staff for a special Independence dress of week or day with a different design. For more than 30 pieces of Janae's Independence polos or t-shirts, get up to 25% discount. Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road Independence Selections. Choose your favorite and celebrate 50 plus. Restrictions apply.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.